We started this process probably about 7 years ago, and it came down to time management for the staff member that had to count the 40 odd tins every day, and it was almost an 8-hour job. By the time you count the float, count the takings, balance, data entry, it was just too big a process. So when Translink came along and business started to grow, you need to move with the times. So we looked at the cash management system. We went with Gunnerbo at the time, just helped design a machine plus a float machine, and it was great. You know, our staff member counting the money was doing it in 4 hours instead of 8, so her time was then used to do the data entry side and balancing and so forth. As the business grew, and the technology with the original machines we had wasn't growing, then we came to you and you explained that the technology was getting there. I'd seen them in the banks, so I knew that it was there, processed along. Virginia now spends roughly 2 hours a day down in the cash machines, and they're just time management, small investment, it's just worth it. Yeah, if we didn't have these machines, I would probably have to have 3 staff doing Virginia's job. So yeah, you pay the outlay and make the capital, but it pays for itself in a couple of years in salaries alone.
Yeah.
I find them very different in the respect that the new machines are a lot easier, accessible. Just everything is easy at your fingertips. There's not much lifting or anything like that. It's fairly in that respect as well. No, I just find them just so different and so easy to use. So we get a report that gives us a breakdown of what denominations are in each machine. I transpose that onto a sheet that we've organised. And then when I get the reports from the actual machines, then they all balance up together. So if there's any discrepancies, it's easy found, and they're not huge discrepancies. It's just that like maybe someone hasn't deposited, so or they deposited on the next day, sort of thing. So just little things like that. But the accuracy and the quickness of it is just so easy. And once you get into knowing how to do it, because they are very, very different pieces of technology, it's just a breeze. So I find this machinery a lot easier, and I don't have any problems with it.
I think the accuracy for these machines compared to the previous machines is 100%.
Yeah.
Because we used in the old machines, you'd grab the money, you'd have to run it through a separate counter just to make sure it was correct. We still do that because the machines are relatively new and we're learning our trust side of the machines, but they're spot on 100%. That's it. It's the reports are emailed to us daily. We don't have to go down and pull the reports. It's to email. Once a month I get the breakdown of what the machines have done every month. I can tell you how many 5-cent pieces we use. And that's helpful information going forward when you're looking at how much float a driver needs, because you can see what coin is coming back through the machine, therefore you can work out what they're physically using.
Okay.
So it's the technology is, it's better to keep with the times than sit stagnant.
I worked in a bank for 16 years and I couldn't imagine going back to what they used to do and having someone manually count, because you'd be there all day and it would just be so time consuming.
We've gone from 40 buses when we were counting manually to 104 buses.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would hate to think if we had to go back to the old system of counting the floats,
we have
counting the drivers.
80 during the peak season. Drivers that I have to deal with, a day. To school holidays about 35, but even thinking about doing 35 a day, that's still a lot of coinage when you're thinking of what the drivers are actually doing and where they're going. They find it a lot quicker because unlike the old machines, they don't have to feed their notes in one by one. They're finding it very easy. They're finding it quicker, easier, and they actually find it more user-friendly as well. So,
With this machine, the old machines, we had the tag. The drivers had to carry an extra tag to swipe onto the machine. This is done by payroll number, so they don't have to carry anything extra. And that's
only a
that's
4-digit number.
That's a positive move for them because it's one less thing they have to worry about. So we've been working together for many years because you were originally with API and then Gunnerbo. But SpringQuip, easy. If there's an issue, email it, make a phone call, it's dealt with pretty much straight away. So I've really enjoyed the non-hassle of dealing with
That's
SpringQuip.
great. That's good. And yourself, Virginia?
Yeah, it's the same. I've been feeling a bit idiotic. A couple of times I've called people out and it was just an easy fix, and now I know how to fix them, so it's good. But no, there's been someone out that day when I've made the phone call. I make the phone call from downstairs. The phone's always answered sort of straight away. I've had no problems whatsoever. And even just with the technical issues with the reports, if we had any problems with them, they've come through a bit funny sometime, email, and they're pretty well right the next day. So I've had no issues at all. So I haven't spent a lot of time on the phone like unfortunately I got to do towards the end last couple of years
The
ago.
7 months we've had the Spring Quit machines in, compared to previously, where hardly any issues, teething issues haven't been there. The way I look at it, we balance the next day, so it's 24 hours later. I personally can't understand companies that bank and then other people count their money for them because they don't get the reports for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
We have it done within 24 hours. If there's a driver's issue with a go-kart or an adjustment needs to be made, we can ask the driver within 24 hours, what happened yesterday? And he knows. Ask him 4 days down the track, what happened Monday? They can't remember. They've been busy, they've seen other kids, they've had other issues. So for me, I love them because we've always done it. We've always tried to cash reconcile within 24 hours because the drivers are busy enough. They don't have to try and remember everything that's happened. So for us, it's the fact that you can fix your problem straight away if there is an issue with a go-kart or a ticket's not worked or something.
I don't understand how they can get it done. I mean, I know some of the issues, I don't have issues all the time, but trying to reconcile those issues, especially when you've got people that don't have money on their go-karts and things like that, to wait 3 or 4 days for that issue to be fixed on your own personal go-kart, it must be, I can't understand how they do it.
It's a capital investment, but for a short-term gain because you've already got the person who has to do the data entry and the checking for TransLink and Cubic data. So Virginia's 2 hours a day doing the money is a better investment than waiting 4 days for it to come back in. The person who reconciles and does all the data is already employed, so time manage a bit better maybe and have the cash done in-house. It might be surprising results.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Adam.
Thank you. I need to do it again. That was awesome.